Hello, friends, and welcome to the Cinemondo podcast with Kathy, Mark, and Burk, talking about movie trailers. And today,
look at the trailers.
We got a movie trailer today. What's it called?
Yeah, this one is a film that came out last summer. It's a Malayalam language survival thriller called Malayankunju. And it stars Fahadh Faasil, who is an actor we know very well from such films as Vikram and Pushpa. And so he's, quite good. And this was a request, wasn't it, Kathy?
It was. Ken again, Monster member. It might have been Minaj also. He does them too. He does a lot of good ones. They're supplying me tons. Girishan, Minaj, and Ken are just like a cavalcade of great content. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, and this one gets great reviews. It was a big hit, and so we're interested to check out the trailer and maybe some posters if we have those.
Yeah, we got those, and Malayalam becomes some of my favorite films because they just have a grittiness I just love, just so real feeling. There's some edginess to them. So.
A little more character based, so that's interesting. So let's take a look at the trailer for this film.
Are we ready to roll that trailer?
We are ready.
Yes.
And action.
Diary Mela, Cochiner, Tortadio, Twitter, Terrio, Canadero, Ganico Jeda, Oxford Jana.
അവന് കുഴപ്പമൊന്നുമില്ല ശാന്തയിച്ച് വെറുതെ ആദ്യം കേട്ടാൽ
ഇങ്ങനെ എല്ലാത്തിൻ്റെ സൂക്കറാണ് ഓരോ സമയത്ത് ഓരോ മാതിരി
അപ്പനോടുള്ള ദേഷ്യം എന്നോടാണോ അനുസരിച്ച് തീർക്കുന്നത്
മഴ കലക്കുന്ന സാഹചര്യമായതിനാൽ അതീവ ജാഗ്രത പുലർത്തണമെന്നും
നിങ്ങൾ എവിടാന്ന് വെച്ചാ പോന്നേ ഇവിടുത്തെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ നോക്കുന്നത് ഞാനാ അമ്മ ഇങ്ങോട്ടും ഇല്ല ഇത് വല്ലാത്ത കാരണമാണ് അതിനോട് സൂക്കേടുവാ
കൊച്ചിയുടെ കരച്ചിലൊക്കെ അയലോക്കത്തോട് കേൾക്കുന്നത് ഒരു ഐശ്വര്യമായിരിക്കും
അതിന് കൊച്ചല്ലോ അവന്റെ പ്രശ്നം
അതല്ല
What happened?
പൊന്നി
My God.
What happened?
That looked terrifying. Oh my God, I'm so claustrophobic.
They ended up in a cave or something, or under the sewers or something.
Yeah, it's like, of course, in recent events in Turkey with the earthquake, you just imagine sort of being under tons and tons of rubble. And if you survive the actual earthquake, how do you survive underneath there and how do you get out? I'm not sure if this is an earthquake. My sense is that's probably what it is, or unless it was some sort of mudslide or I don't know. But
or there's some kind of bad crime action going on where I heard a gunshot, I think, and then maybe they're trying to get away from it and they hide in the sewers and they end up getting lost in some kind of tunnel system or
right.
I don't know. It's interesting.
So it's a survival thriller. So it's obviously mostly him trying to survive this, and there's a baby somewhere crying. So it's
right.
Kind of intense, intense.
Oh but I have to say, I can't really tell exactly what's going on by this trailer, but
right.
It looks
it's interesting. It's on Amazon.
Sure.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's something we could actually watch now. So we could probably get the answer if we watched it.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. So it is a landslide. I was just thinking. So there's a rain monsoon season. So there's a rain and there's a landslide, and so I guess they're kind of swept away and then buried in the soil, and then they're trying to get out. And maybe and it seems like he's one of those guys that the neighbors were having a lot of problems with. So he's a little hard to be sympathetic to. But then he's there, and they're having to help him, and he's helping them. And that underneath the mud. Oh my God.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, it looks so scary.
But I'm compelled. I like those kind of movies myself. I love. There was one called the one that happened in Thailand where the young soccer team was stuck underneath. There was a Ron Howard film that I find those very compelling. So this
That's right.
it's probably
Yeah.
something up my alley.
And then also, like, it's something I noticed. I also
Bonk.
noticed. I also noticed in this, A.R. Rahman did the music, and every time he
Yeah.
does the music, it just sparkles somehow. And so he's
Right.
award winning. He's like the go-to guy in these movies. Like, you see his name so much. He's so talented. And even in this trailer, I was like, the music just sounded so unique and special.
Yeah.
It didn't
I
sound like
like the
that
music
needle
a lot.
drop trailer music.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell they
Right.
used some of his music in this. It sounded
Exactly.
gorgeous. Yeah,
It
so
did.
that's
It
something to
did.
point out. It's like A-list shit going on in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so we have posters. Let's see if they tell us anything. We got
Let's
a
take
teaser.
a look.
I like they're kind of showing like the above ground, underground idea, sort of. You know, kind of
Mm-hmm. Yep.
muddy looking.
Yeah.
It's his face reversed, and then you have the foliage in between, and they got his name big right in the middle, all by itself.
Yeah. Fazils.
So
Almost
it's kind of
in
a
the middle.
teaser. Yeah, almost in the middle, like sort of
Kind
closer
of a-
to the title. Needs to be close to the title, but
Yeah. Kind of disorienting
contractual.
the spacing of the wording and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it kind of gives it that emptiness, which
Yeah.
I don't mind. And then we have, this is him just in better times,
Right.
before there was a terrible mudslide. And so he's, I like how too the title is sort of partly foliage here.
Right.
That's kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
that's
His name's
interesting.
a little closer to the title this time.
Yeah.
And I love what they call it an A.R. Rahman musical. Because then I'm
Yeah.
expecting
Yeah.
songs and dances, but it sounds like it's just like he gets that top line credit because he's that big of a deal. Like the guy who
Right.
does the score is getting the credit, right?
He's the John Williams of India, or
Can you imagine Jaws? It said a John Williams film.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
John Williams
Could be.
musical.
Yeah.
And then we have this one, which what's in the box? I just have
What's
to say it.
in the box?
What's in the box? I know, 7. Every time I see a box now, I think of Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's doing here, but it looks suspicious and weird, and I don't know what this is. But
Certified you.
it just-
Certified you. Whatever that means.
I know. So it's a little caught moment, clearly from the film. It looks like a little scene
Right.
from the movie, but it looks pretty high quality. So it looks like something they shot set side. It's not just a
Yeah.
screen grab or something. So yeah, they don't really give away that this is about a mudslide and terribly claustrophobic and unpleasant.
Right.
It's like they're
But
just
it's
going to
kind
go.
of a slice of life kind of a vibe with that poster. I mean, he's just like tying a twine around a box,
Or
It's
is
like
he
everyday
untying it?
activity
Is
kind
he
of.
opening the box? Is he closing the box? Is there a head in the box? I don't know. Maybe. But it's got A.R. Rahman, Fahadh Faasil. That's all you need to know, really.
Gwyneth
Doesn't matter.
Paltrow? No, she's not in this.
And I think it's also, most Indian films run well over 2 hours, sometimes over 3 hours. This one's under 2 hours, so I feel
Very
it's going to be
tight.
sort of a tauter, sort of tight, sort of
Fast
you know,
moving.
the landslide happens, maybe a half hour in. The rest of the time you're under trying to figure out how to get out, that kind of thing. So
And that seems really hard to shoot. Like, you have to have this underground, this water and the mud and everything. Like, I would love to see the behind the scenes, because that just looks like a miserable shoot. It's like whenever they have like people out in the rain too, I'm like, that just has to be so unpleasant.
yeah,
There's ways to do it where you don't see this artifice of the set,
Yeah.
but still anything where you're getting wet and dirty on camera, it becomes such a nightmare, because there's different, and this is like a technical thing that I think is really interesting. But I've worked on a lot of shows where we've done people in situations like this, where they're in a situation where there's a lot of dirt and injuries and things like that. Like somebody will get cut here. You have to keep the hair and makeup, set dressing, wardrobe, props, all have to keep really careful lists. And we used to take photographs on set with a Polaroid, so you could immediately have a photograph, and you poke a hole in it and you put it on a big ring, so you have all your continuity photos. And you have to make sure that for instance, in this, you have to make sure that his shirt is not dirtier in the earlier scenes than it is in the later scenes. It has to consistently go from clean, dirty, dirtier, dirtiest, extremely dirty, And if he gets any kind of injury, he has to have that cut in the first part of the scene, and it has to get, the blood has to be down to here and then down to here. There's so much you have to pay attention to in scenes like this.
And they're shot out of order a lot of times, so it's not not easy to keep up with, because it's not like we'll shoot him in his clean shirt and then later on the shoot he'll have a dirty shirt. No, it doesn't work that way.
Not at all.
And also, if you accidentally get it a little bit dirtier than it's going to be in a scene you've already shot, you have to take the shirt off, put the new one on, and dirty it up
He
to
probably
the
has
right
10
level. It ain't easy
Oh.
shooting scenes like
Does not look
this,
easy.
shooting movies like this.
And just as an aside, if you want to see really bad continuity, watch the old 1984 film Jagged Edge with Jeff Bridges and Glenn Close. It is unbelievable. There's a courtroom scene, and in every scene there's different shirts, and he's got a mustache. And, it's not that bad, but it's crazy bad. So it's really, you're caring about the story, so you're not really looking at the shirts. But if you look for it, it's very glaring and weird.
Sometimes I wonder how that happens, because sets I've been on, everybody is so professional and so careful.
Well, you get people who aren't professional. That's how it happens.
I remember doing props where you had a cigarette, and it was like we had boxes when people are smoking. We had boxes of cigarettes that were already cut at certain lengths, like for scene 12, for shot, you have scene 12, and then you have shot A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, or whatever. All the cigarettes in the box were from A, B, C, D, and they were all different lengths. And it's like, okay, in H, he lights a new cigarette. So we have a brand new cigarette, and then it goes down.
Oh,
and so if you're going to shoot scene H before you shoot scene B or shot B, you have to get the shorter cigarette, and then we're going to shoot B. So you need to get the B cigarette, which is a little bit
that's
long.
why you have someone that's all they do. That's their job. Their whole job is just that.
When you see
all I did for decades.
You still see it happen, like where a cigarette has burned down, then it's not burned down. You still see that because it's like, fuck it. People
or the prop, you can't always blame the prop person, because they might have been on top of it. But then when it got to editing, the editor might have said, I think we need to flop these scenes here because his intensity here in this scene is a little better. And let's just lose that whole chunk. So you lose the lighting the cigarette, and then now you go to the larger cigarette. You didn't see him light it because they didn't need that scene. There's so many things that can go wrong.
So many things. Making movies is so hard. And I also, just a little quick aside, we've talked enough about this movie, but I love in the beginning they had this baby crying, which is so stressful and annoying. And you can kind of see the whole thing happening. The whole opening scene, the guy's like, it's driving me crazy. I'm like, it's driving us all crazy.
Right.
I could totally relate to this guy. So yeah, that made also more stressful, because whenever a baby's crying, it seems like something bad is happening. So you're like, someone needs to
good luck.
Look at the baby. Yeah, good luck when a baby's crying, because it means there's babies. But the baby doesn't seem happy. Something bad is happening. Is it starving?
Yeah. It's good luck when there's a landslide.
Yeah, it's good luck. See all the luck that baby brought. So now he's probably gonna have to rescue the baby, because he's probably the only one that's aware the baby is there. So we're gonna have this big rescue scene probably. So
probably
I'm seeing that.
And that'll be the thing that helps them. Maybe the sound of the baby crying helps them get out.
Right. That's right. So he's going to be like, I never have said anything about the baby because it saved my life. So there you go.
Right. And then the last shot will be him kissing the baby, freeze frame.
It's so happy.
Roll credits.
Okay. Roll credits, Burk. We're done.
That's our look at Malayankunju. So it's on Prime Video, so we can watch it.
Let's check it out.
See ya.